What if I told you that MAUI, the Microsoft framework for building cross-platform desktop and mobile applications, isn't officially supported on Linux? But there is a kicker. There is a way to make it work. In this video, I will show you exactly how you can set it up using a slightly modified version of MAUI, and by the end, you'll be able to build MAUI applications for Linux yourself. If you're a Linux enthusiast or a developer looking to build cross-platform applications, this is something you don't want to miss. I'm showing you the Maui-linux repository, which is a fork of the original .NET MAUI. Now, while it is a few commits behind the original, don't let this fool you. This version is solid and well maintained with one game-changing feature, and that's Linux compatibility using the GTK toolkit. And yes, GTK is supported on Windows and Mac OS, so you could take this fork further if you want, but in this video the focus is making MAUI work on Linux. Ready to get started? First up, we need to clone the repository. Code, and let's copy the Git link. Now let's open Visual Studio. I'm using the IDE, but you can also use Visual Studio Code if you want. Go to Clone Repository, paste in the link, select the folder, I will leave this as it is, and select Clone. Perfect, we have the repository, here it is, all the different solutions. And now there is one crucial step that we need to do that is documented on GitHub under Development Guide. Here, I'm using Windows, and the first thing that we need to do is called .NET Tool Restore. So let's copy that, back to Visual Studio, View, Terminal. Here it is, right-click to paste, and enter. Restore was successful. Now, if for some reason this command doesn't work in here, try to open PowerShell as administrator and execute again, it should work. The first part was to clone the repository. This worked without problems. The next one is to build it, and you will notice right away that the build doesn't work out of the box. So first we need to do some changes and also download a special GTK workload, which is missing here. Let's start with the GTK workload. The original GTK repository doesn't work here, that's why we need to be a bit more creative. Thankfully there is another GTK workload repository that we can use instead. This is the one, so if you scroll down here under Windows, let's copy the command, only the first row, and open PowerShell as administrator, otherwise it will not work. So right-click paste. Now let's execute the script. Perfect, GTK workload is installed, and now we need to do some changes inside the repository. Back in Visual Studio, and I already did all the changes for you. Let me just move my head out of the way. There are 3 different changes that I did here, and don't worry, it's not too complicated. Now the first one is to include the GTK workload that we've installed previously, and this is done inside this directory.buildprops. Now this is like a global configuration file. All configuration here will be taken over to each and every project inside the solution. The problem here was that it was looking for a different GTK workload that can't be installed anymore for whatever reason. If the GTK workload wasn't found, it was excluded completely. That's why I added here to include it regardless if it's found or not. We already installed a different one, so we should be good to go. The next thing was, do not treat warnings as errors. So yes, we will probably get some warnings, but hopefully we can just ignore them all. Those 2 changes eliminated most errors on my side, but there are a few more that you need to do. You will probably need to update a few Nugget packages related to GTK Sharp. Maybe this will be fixed in the future, but for now, the packages that I updated were all the csharp packages to a preview version 3.0 at the time of recording, then GTK Sharp, as I already mentioned, and WebKit GTK Sharp. So those packages had a mismatch on my machine, so I had to update it to a compatible version. The final changes that I had to do are inside the code itself. Here, a few methods were missing that were actually present in some other classes, so I just copied those over. And since I changed Nugget packages, there was also stuff that didn't work with a different Nugget version, so I just tried to make it compile here. Now with all the changes and all dependencies, we are ready to make the first build. Building now should be fairly easy. You could build the MAUI solution here, just right-click and build, but this will build only for one particular target that is selected here. So if you want to build for GTK, then you would need to select .NET 8-GTK, or the better way of doing it, you could build the whole solution and also create all the NUGET packages for all the platforms, and that's what we will do right now. Down here inside the terminal, write .NET pack and the build task solution. This solution is also suggested by the GitHub documents. So first let's build this one. Build completed without errors, and in addition, it also created the NUGET packages inside the artifacts folder. So if you want, you can use this folder as a NUGET source instead of the official ones. But for GTK, there is also another solution that we need to build. MAUI.gtk. Again, .NET pack and run. Perfect, build completed, and it created some more NUGET packages. We changed the source, built the packages, and now finally we have everything to run it on Linux. I will run GTK MAUI inside WSL because it's well integrated inside Visual Studio. Inside the MAUI solution, you should find the controls.sample.gtk project. This is the one that we will try out, so right-click on it, set as startup project, then make sure that under properties you have a launch settings JSON file. Now this is important, this one should include the WSL tag here, and this will enable to run the application inside WSL on Linux. And you should also find inside the dropdown here the entry WSL, just select it and let's run it, play. And here it is. Those are now MAUI controls presented in GTK. So you have input boxes, buttons with padding, gradient, checkboxes, placeholders, dropdowns, sliders, drawables, and of course the .NET MAUI logo. And as said, this is now running on Linux in WSL. There is also another sample project called MAUI Control Sample. This one looks more like a MAUI project with platform, resources, services, and so on. So let's try this one. Right-click, set as startup. Again, you will need a launch settings JSON file with the WSL entry. Now same thing, pre-select WSL. And one important thing here, make sure that framework is set to .NET 8-GTK. Now let's try this one out, run. Now this opens a bit weird, but we can resize it. Again, this one is running on Linux in WSL, and here you have again different examples that you can try, like for instance, a frame, add content, replace content, remove. Then let's try layouts, content view. Interesting. So you have many examples how things could work, and not everything works. For instance, there is also the Blazor web view, and for some reason I just couldn't get it to work. Maybe this will be fixed in the future with another NUGET update, but for now this is just an empty shell and it doesn't do anything. So with this, you should be able to run MAUI applications on Linux yourself, and big thank you to all the MAUI Linux maintainers. You guys are awesome for making all of this possible. If you're interested in MAUI or cross-platform content, up there you can find a video about running Doom on mobile using MAUI. It is an interesting one, so go check it out. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.